are fine. So yesterday we had a live class of SST in which I have asked you some questions related to chapter number 4 of civics, that is democratic government. So today we are going to take the reading part of the chapter. So let's start the reading today of chapter number 4. So for that you have to open your books on page number 223. Okay, so we will be noting down the key points, the important ones, and we will be marking the important questions as usual. So what topics we are going to cover is origin of the word democracy, its features, then anti-apartheid movement led by Nelson Mandela, then participation and what are the various ways of participating, public opinion. So today we are going to just deal with these topics. So let us start. Okay. So, as you already know, the earliest form of government was monarchy. Yes, where the king and the queen is the ruler and the power lies in the hands of the king or the queen. Where the king or the queen ruled the country, he or she enjoyed all the powers. Although helped by advisors, the final decision lay in the hands of the monarch as he or she was all powerful. So, this is what we have learned monarchy is, monarchical form of government. Okay, it was an ancient form of government. Slowly it was realized that the will of the people also mattered. Finally, democracy came up as the most popular form of government as people, the common masses or citizens played an important role in the selection of the leaders. So what is a democratic government in which the people or the general masses, they have the sole right to elect their representatives and they only elect the leaders. They have power in their hands that they can vote in the elections and they can elect the leaders. So this is what the common masses of citizens, please underline, play an important role in the selection of the leaders, and this is what democratic government. Okay. Now the origin of the word democracy, please underline. The word democracy comes from two Greek words, that is demos and kratos, together, which means authority of the people. Therefore, democracy means government of the people. So it is what? Nothing but government of the people. We have made it and it is for us only. As you know, India follows a representative form of government. This we have already studied. That is, citizens choose their representatives to run the government. So this is what? Representative form of government. We have already learned that we only elect our representatives who makes laws for us, taking into consideration our interests. The representative takes decisions on behalf of the people, keeping in mind their opinions and their problems. So they just make rules taking into consideration the problems of the general masses. Okay. So this was something about the meaning of democracy. Now we have the salient features of democracy. Let us see. For efficient functioning of the democratic government, it is necessary that the political parties are disciplined and should work for national interest. So now, this is what? That the political parties are disciplined and should work for national interest. We all know that many political parties are there, but then they should work for the common interest of all, not for their own selfish interest. And how will they do? So public opinion is important for any democracy. So how we can control them is through the public opinion. What is public opinion? Please underline. Public opinion is the opinion of the people on issues or problems that touch their lives and welfare. So what is public opinion? It is the aggregate of opinions of millions of people who touch their lives, that touch their lives. So it is based on the problems of the people, and based on those problems, if we just collectively take the opinions or the views of the people, that is what? It is public opinion. It paves the way for social and political change. The government cannot ignore the rights of the people, and so government cannot ignore the rights of the people. If the people will speak together, if they will express their views on particular issue or problem, then the government has to listen to it and accordingly it has to frame the policies for the country. So this is why public opinion is very important in the efficient running of democratic government. Okay, next we have people should be well aware of their rights and duties. So next is that people should be very well aware of what their rights are. So so that if they are not given the rights, then they can file a case in the court and they can fight for their rights. So they should be updated with the political happenings of the country. So they should be aware of what is going on in the country. So they should know what is happening around them. The citizen of a democratic country should accept the views and decisions of the government towards the welfare of the society and should give up self-interest for the same. What else is there? That it is essential feature of democratic government that people should keep their self-interest aside and they should collectively rise for the betterment of the country as a whole. Okay. Next one, a large number of representatives are responsible for running a smooth democratic government, we all know. However, intolerant laws can destroy the structure of democracy based on liberty and equality. Hence, it is essential that the government should have the freedom to rule and the opposition should have the freedom to express their opinion. So, what is the next feature in democratic government is that whosoever party is in power, that is the ruling party, it should have the freedom to rule according to its wish, but taking into consideration, no doubt, the problems of the common people, and the opposition party, it should have the freedom to criticize the policies so that it should keep the government on the track, on the right path, that it is working according to the problems of the people. So these are some of the common, or you can say salient features of democracy. So a question can be asked in your exams, mention some of the salient features of democracy. So if it is for 3 marks, you will write down 3 points, any 3 points of your choice. Okay, next we have anti-apartheid movement. As discussed, that it was a movement that was started in the country of South Africa when there was discrimination with the non-whites that was done by the white people. So let's study about it. The anti-apartheid movement was launched by the black population of South Africa, please underline, to fight against discrimination. So it was launched by whom? By the black people of South Africa when they were discriminated by the white population over there. Okay. In white ruled South Africa between the years 1948 and 1994, the non-white people were not treated equally by the white people. So there was a discrimination and they were not treated as the white people were treated. So what type of discrimination was there? Let us see. They had separate schools, please underline, and separate public facilities. They were denied basic human and political rights, that were not given the right to elect the president. They were treated as untouchables in their own land by the whites. So they were just treated as Dalits, the lower caste, the untouchables by the white people. This policy of discrimination against the blacks by the whites of South Africa came to be called apartheid. So please underline what is apartheid. Actually, it is the policy of discrimination against the black by the white people. So, and it came to be known as apartheid. Apartheid means, please underline, apartness in African language. And what does it mean? Apartness means separate kar dena kisi cheez ko. So the black people were separated from the white ones. The movement was led by Nelson Mandela. Please underline, we have already discussed who led this movement. Again, important question. So Nelson Mandela was the person who led this movement. Leader of the African National Congress. He was the leader of African National Congress also. For leading the anti-apartheid movement, Mandela was sent to prison for 27 years. Please underline. He was also in prison for 27 years when he started this movement by the South African government. So he was even sent to jail. We all know that whenever we raise our voice, whenever we start revolting against policies of the government, sometimes we have to just go to prison. As if we see the history of our independence, what was done with our freedom fighters, they were put into jail by the Britishers. So this way, whenever there is a raise of voice for the good cause, so it is just trying to be suppressed. Okay. In 1994, the blacks finally got their freedom and the right to form their own government. So it was in year of 1994 that the black people, they got the right to elect the government and they had a say in it. So they formed their own government in 1994, please underline. They voted freely for the first time in the elections of 1994, which was won by Nelson Mandela. So now, who won in the election? Nelson Mandela. And who voted? Now the black people, and it was in the year of 1994. He formed the first mixed race government of South Africa where the blacks and the whites had equal rights under the law. So the government was formed by Nelson Mandela, in which there was equal participation of both the blacks and the white population of South Africa. The movement was an important event which helped in upholding the principles of democracy. So it was just a type of government which was based on the principles of democracy, that is equal rights for all. Okay, thus launching a movement is also a way of participating in the government. So what are the ways of participating? One such way is that we can elect our own government, we can express our opinion and we can just participate in the functioning of the government. So launching a movement is also another feature of democracy or a way of participation. Then what is participation and how it is done and what are the various ways? Let's see. In a democracy, representatives chosen by the people through election process run the government, we all know. Election is a formal and organized procedure of selecting someone for public office by vote. So what is election? Please underline. Election is a formal process. It is very formal. So many formalities are there. Voter list is there, then election campaigns are there, then after that election date is there, particular time is there, and then the ballot system is there. So many formalities are involved and organized procedure. ऐसा नहीं है कि कभी कुछ भी कर लोगे. So it is a पूरा format होता है and you have to move on systematically in an organized way. So it is a formal and organized procedure of selecting someone for public office. For the office of government, you have to elect someone by the help of vote. That is election. Election helps in keeping a check on the power exercised by the elected representatives. So it keeps a check on the representatives that you have elected. If you are not satisfied, then you can change them in the next election that are held after 5 years. So they are also aware of this, that if we won't work according to the problems, taking into consideration the problems of the people, so that we can be removed in the next election by those same people. So they have that fear in mind and so they just keep aside their selfish interests. Okay. It is a duty of the representatives to keep in mind the opinion of the people while taking decisions. So whenever representatives, they try to frame any policy or rule or they make law, then they take into consideration the general problem of the people. In our country, elections are held after every 5 years. Please underline, after every 5 years we have our elections. All citizens of 18 years or above can exercise their right to choose honest, devoted and sincere representatives. So if we are citizen of India, if we are 18 years or above 18 years of age, then we can elect our sincere, devoted representatives. Participation grants people the power to bring about change if the government does not perform. So this participation in the election procedure, in the voting process, it gives the power to the people that they can change the government in the next elections if the government is not working as per their wishes. So this was something about participation. Now let us see some other ways. Elections are just one way of participating. People participate by taking interest in the government and even by criticizing the government. So they take interest, how? First, by taking interest in the government, by electing the representatives, that is, and even by criticizing the policies of the government. How? Let us see. People severely criticize the government about the recent hike in prices of petrol. So they are giving you one example when there was a price hike in the petrol, and it is just an example. Let us see. There were heated debates on television about the impact of rising fuel prices. Some favored the government policy while others pointed out flaws. So some were in favor of it, So it was a heated conversation that was even telecasted on television. So it was a kind of debate. Some were against it, some were in favor of it. Okay. Some favored the government policy while others pointed out flaws, that is mistakes. Many people disapproved of the government's move by taking out protest marches, calling for bunds, etc. So how did they revolt? They disapproved of the government's move, just underline, by taking out protest marches. Rallies लेकर आते हैं सड़क पे, दंगे फसाद करते हैं, we are not okay, this policy is not okay with us, calling for bunds. धरना लगाते हैं जगह जगह पे. Ultimately, the government had to concede to the demands of the people, and if the people come on the road, then they do strikes, take out rallies, then the government has to listen to the people's views. So this is one way of participating, that is by criticizing the policies of the government and by organizing bunds. Okay. Public opinion. Next. As discussed above, there are a variety of ways of expressing public opinion which is vital to any democracy. Then what are these ways? Okay. Public opinion, first of all, let us see, is the aggregate of individual views and beliefs prevalent among the adult residents. So what is public opinion? Nothing, but it is a total sum of all the opinions and views that are prevalent at one particular place, and especially it is the discussion amongst the old residents or the experienced people, we can say. So it is nothing but their views. Public opinion holds an important role in society. There are several ways in which public opinion is expressed. How can we express this public opinion? How can it be made to take into consideration, bring into consideration of the government? Let us see. Dharnas, rallies, strikes, signature campaigns are some ways of expressing public opinion. Please underline, the other ways are by organizing this, by doing the dharnas, by doing the strikes, by taking out rallies, by doing the signature campaigns. I have already discussed what are signature campaigns. Yes, signature campaigns are the campaigns which are carried out just to take the signatures of the majority of people on one particular problem. So this is signature campaign. So next we have, as you can see this picture in your books, just see, it's a picture of a rally that is being taken out at India Gate. So this way the people are not satisfied with the pulses of the government, they just take out rallies where they think it is necessary. Okay. So it means government of the people. What? Elections, freedom or democracy? Yes. So what is government of the people? It is democracy. So it's option number B. Okay. Next, dash is the aggregate of public views and beliefs. What is aggregate of public views and beliefs? Is it election? Is it democracy? Or is it public opinion? We have already learned that public opinion is the aggregate, that is sum total of beliefs and views of people. So it is option number C according to your books. Okay. Next, media plays a vital role in forming public opinion. Please underline. So media also plays a very important role in forming public opinion. Media like, please underline, newspapers, periodicals, magazines, pamphlets, booklets, radio, television, cinema are effective media for generating political and social awareness by watching news on television, by studying in the newspaper, reading in the newspaper, by watching the videos in the cinemas or on the television, radios you can hear, then booklets or magazines you can read. So these are very, very important in creating a viewpoint or creating political awareness amongst the common people. On the other hand, educational institutions, then we have educational institutions also like schools, colleges. When children go to schools and colleges, they also become aware. Supposingly, if I am teaching you something about government, then you are getting aware that you have right to vote, you have the right to choose your own representatives, and you even have the right to criticize the policies of the government. So what I am doing, I am creating political awareness amongst you. So on the other hand, educational institutions like schools and colleges create awareness among young citizens. College students perform street plays on social and political issues which help in molding the thinking process of the society. So you might have heard about it, and even our seniors in the school, they have just performed street plays. So on various public you can say social evils that are there, like unemployment is there, illiteracy is there, caste system is there. So we have been just organizing these street plays also, so that they can create awareness among the people, and we can just eradicate these social evils from our society. So this was something about the public opinion, and it is very, very important for the smooth functioning of the democratic government and to keep them on the right track. So this is something for today. I'm not going to do the next topic, that is conflict. Only one more topic is left according to the book, that is need of resolving the conflict, and what is conflict and the example of conflict is there, and plus your equality and justice, a small topic, why they are important and important part of democracy. So that will be taking tomorrow, and with that we will be doing the book work also. So for today, this is all for today. You have to just read the chapter, whatever we have done, and if you have any doubt, just verify your doubt. So do read the chapter, and even if you want to try to do the book work, it's very good. You can just try to solve the book work so that we can discuss it tomorrow. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.